Okay, friends, today I am going to read you the story Bad Son, Mad Son, and Sad Son. Or perhaps I can say I am going to narrate the story for you. And the title is Bad Son, Mad Son, Sad Son. How did they get their names? The story was written by this man, a very cool man, the coolest person you'll ever meet. He has a project. He wants to build a school in Liberia, Africa. The name of the school is TNVTTS, the abbreviation. It stands for the New Visionary Traditional and Technical School, TNVTTS. In the school, students will have the opportunity to study traditional academics and two required choice certificates. Now, friends, you can find this project or the campaign on GoFundMe under the title TNVTTS. Bad Son, Mad Son, Sad Son. How did they get their names? Once upon a time, in a solar system far, far away, there lived three little sons. Their mama named them according to how they behaved. Bad Son, Mad Son, Sad Son. Can you guess how these three little sons got their names? Well, firstly, you are right if you guess that Bad Son got his name because he often did terrible things, like being mean to others. Because of his bad ways, no one wanted to play with him. Not the moon, not the stars, and definitely not the planets. Planet Earth always run away from him. Secondly, you are right if you guess that Mad Son got his name because he was mad all the time at someone or something for whatever reason. He even got mad at the moon for shining at night. But shining is what the moon is supposed to do, isn't it? When the moon shines at night, it provides light for everyone. It even makes the night lively. Mad Son even got mad at the sky for making it rain, even though we need rain for many things. We need rain to water our crops. We need rain to fill our river and lakes and to recharge groundwater. We need rain to cool the earth down when it is too hot. And rainwater prevents the ground from drying and becoming a desert. But Mad Son was not always good at his job. Too bad. As a son, he often forgot to rise in the morning, even though we need our morning sun. Also, he sometimes even forgot to set in the evening. The sun is supposed to set every evening so that the moon can come out and shine at night. Because this Mad Son did not rise some mornings, the days were dark as night, and when it does not set in the evening, it makes night bright as a day. This made it hard for people to fall asleep at night. No one sleeps at night when even the sun is not sleeping. No one sleeps at night when the night is as bright as a day. Thirdly, you are absolutely right if you guess that Sad Son got his name because he was always sad for whatever reason. Even the simplest misfortune made him sad, and he will cry and cry and cry and cry all the time. Because of his sadness, Sad Son made everyone around him sad, or maybe even sadder. And because of this, he lost lots and lots and lots of friends. Many decided not to come around him because Sad Son would make even a delightful day sad. Since the little sons were born, They had been kept separated in three different solar systems. However, they would often speak to each other. Their messages traveled through sound waves across the vast galaxy. Too much for the average person's ear to handle, but the three little sons had fun talking, screaming, making noise, singing across the vast galaxy. But even though they were having fun, they thought it would be a wonderful thing to meet, to come up closer to each other, to play. After all, brothers are not supposed to be kept apart, they thought. But their worried mama had too many good reasons for keeping her little ones apart. She always refused their request to be together, to play together. One being that even though those sons were little, they were individually harder than even their mother. Very strange. Mama Son was always worried about her little sons. She needed them to change their ways or at least to modify them a little. Why are you bad all the time? It doesn't take that much and it doesn't cost that much to be good. She often appealed to Bad Son. Have you ever tried being happy? Isn't it fun to be happy? Isn't it wonderful to make others happy, to make them smile, to make them feel good about themselves or about you? She often teased Mad Son. Why be sad all the time? Why not enjoy the fact that as a son, your very existence brings life? Without you, the entire galaxy would be cold, dark, lonely, and lifeless. Why the sadness? Why cry all the time? Too much sadness and crying make others run away from you, my son. No one wants to be sad all the time. The world is not chasing miserable time, she often lamented to her sad son. But the three little sons never listened. Their mama's appeal often fell on deaf ears. One day, the three little sons decided to play catch in the vast, wide sky. In the sky, there are plenty of space to jump around, to roll around, to flip around, to run around, to do jumping jacks, and to even hang around on the monkey bars. But there were three big problems. Firstly, the little sons were not supposed to be in the same place and shining at the same time. What do you think could happen if three sons were in the same place at the same time? Well, you are right if you guess that it makes it extra hot and extra bright, and the consequences are extra bad for everyone. Bad for the world, bad for humans, bad for plants and animals, and even bad for visiting aliens. Secondly, the three little sons had no ball to play catch with. No football, no basketball, no volleyball, no tennis ball, no ping pong ball, and definitely no baseball. And this made Sad Son sad. Also, the three little sons had no hands. How can you play catch without hands? This gave Bad Son a wonderfully bad ideas. It made Bad Son think of something bad, really, really bad. Ball? Do we need a ball? We do not need a ball to play catch. All we need is a round object. Just look around. There are too many dead planets around us. Why don't we just play with one? And why don't we just throw and catch one around like a ball? And once it is destroyed, we can just throw it away and grab another one. We can play as many catch games as we can. Just imagine, there are billions of dead planets in the vast galaxy. Bad Son spoke to the others with a look of pride and confidence never seen from anyone before. But before he could continue, he was interrupted. Wicked, stupid, annoying, unpleasant. You do not disturb the dead. That is the most heinous act of disrespect and an insult against the galaxy. You will act with sense. What horrible idea! They neither knew who spoke nor saw anyone, but the three little sons knew it sounded like their mama. But Bad Son had another bright idea, maybe worse than the first one, he thought. He would come to earth to steal the hands of all the living things, the living creatures on earth. How funny it would be, he thought, to see all these creatures in the world without hands. But as bad as it would be, Bad Son did not care about how much this would hurt the creatures of the world. He only cared about himself, about his own happiness, even if it made others cry. He wanted to play a lot of catch games with all the hands he could steal from the earth. He would spread all the hands across the wide open sky and connect them all like a scary creature robot. With this, he could make Mad Son and Sad Son annoyed and displeased. Bad Son thought he could win every game they played. Bad Son laughed and laughed as he planned his big bad idea. But this made Sad Son sad. He became even sadder. But even if the three little sons had hands, they lived millions and millions of miles away from each other. Remember, if the three little sons come together, it would make the world extra hot and extra bright, and the consequences would be extra bad. Bad for everyone, bad for the world, bad for humans, bad for the planets and animals, and even bad for the visiting aliens. Thirdly, being far, far apart would make playing catch difficult. The three little sons were not old enough, strong enough, or even skilled enough to throw a ball from such a distance. This made Mad Son mad. He remembered that catch was his favorite game. He liked watching others play catch and had always wanted to join them. But now he could not play because he could not be together with Bad Son and Sad Son. He could not throw because he did not have hands. But even if he had hands, there was no ball to play with. This made Mad Son even madder. One fine day, the three little sons decided to visit the earth together. However, they soon realized that the closer they got to each other, the harder it got for them. Bad Son was always hot, but on this fine day he could not stand the extra heat from Mad Son and Sad Son. Mad Son was always hot, but he also could not stand the extra heat from Bad Son and Sad Son. And Sad Son too was always hot as usual, but he too could not stand the extra heat coming from Bad Son and Mad Son. But as the three little sons got closer to the earth, their combined heat was too much for this small young planet. The earth sweat heavily. The earth complained. But the earth began to cry and beg the three little sons to turn around and go away. They did not listen. But suddenly the earth began to die. The heat from the three little sons dried the water on earth. The trees and all the living things began to die. Even the sunflower began to die. Also, the heat from the three little sons started a raging firestorm on the earth. The earth had asked politely but desperately, "Bad Son, could you please turn around and go away? You are coming too closer, and the heat is too much for me to handle. I will die if you come closer, and everything will die as well. You will kill us with heat stroke, and worse, set us on fire." But instead of Bad Son turning around and going away, he began to act badly. He was even badder than he had ever been. He began making fun of everything and everyone, the living, the dead, the animate or the inanimate object. He made faces at the earth and even spat on it. As he approached the dying earth, Bad Son had a big bad idea. He wished he had hands so that he could wave the earth good day when he arrived and good night when he leaves. The earth had asked politely but desperately, "Mad sun, could you please turn around and go away? You are coming too close, and the heat is too much for me to handle. Can't you see I'm dying? I will die if you come closer, and everything will die as well. You will kill us with heat stroke, or worse, set us on fire." But instead of Mad Sun turning around and going away, he got madder. He began to yell at the dead trees and plants and other living things. He yelled at the dead sunflower. He hated sunflower for being beautiful and looking just like the sun. He also hated that the sunflower's golden yellow color was even better than Mad Sun's. Mad Sun hated that the sunflower had many living things as friends and was not floating in the wide open sky. Sunflowers were always popular and harmless to everyone. The earth had asked politely but desperately, "Sad sun, could you please turn around and go away? You are coming too close and the heat is too much for me to handle. Can't you see, little sad sun? Can't you see? Oh, sad sun, I am dying. I will die if you come closer, and everything will die as well. You will kill us with heat stroke, or worse, set us on fire." But instead of sad sun turning around and going away, he got sad. He even got sadder and sadder and sadder and outrageously sadder. He got so sad that he started crying and feeling sorry for himself. He began to feel sorry for everything, and about everyone. He cried and cried, and his sadness made the earth cry too. The earth began to cry and even forgot it was dying. By now, the three little suns had traveled a long distance across space and were revolving around the earth. They rotated faster and faster around the earth. They rotated faster than the speed of sound and much faster than the speed of light. They loved the fact that they were speeding faster than everything, anything, and anyone who had ever lived anywhere across the vast galaxy. They neither realized what they had done nor listened to the dying earth. It had asked them politely but desperately to turn around and go away. It had warned them that they were coming too close and that their combined heat was too much to handle. It had also warned them that it was dying and that everything would die as well. But all this desperate pleading from the earth fell on deaf ears. But there was one extremely big problem. As the three little suns rotated around the earth, they could not see the earth, the poor little earth. They could only see a big ball of fire and smoke. But they could feel their combined heat along with the heat from the big ball of fire. By now, they felt a heat 4 times hotter, and they could not stand it. Just imagine what the earth had felt. But the three little suns began to realize that the ball of fire was the earth, and the smoke from the dead burning earth had spread through the wide open sky and across the vast galaxy. They had set the earth on fire, and so they had killed the earth and everything on it. They had destroyed billions of lives, young, old, rich, poor, innocent, humans and animals were all dead. Nothing would be saved in such a raging fire. Everything would be burned to ashes, and it would take 100 years for this raging fire to be extinguished. But with this, their realization had surfaced. The three little suns could not play catch because they had no hands. They had no ball to play with. They could not be together at the same time because it could cause a catastrophe. They had not listened to their mama pleading for them to change their ways, and they did not listen to the earth's polite but desperate warning to turn around and go away. They never cared that their combined heat would cause destruction, but now the consequences are too much for even them to handle. But since the earth had died and everything on it had been destroyed, there were no hands for bad sun to steal to play catch with. There was no ball to play with, and they would only have been able to find one on earth. But since the earth was dead and everything on it was destroyed, the three little sons were out of luck. This realization did not sit well with the three little sons. For Mad Sun, he had done something terrible, and with this, he would never stop being mad at himself. Just look at all the destruction, the blazing ball of fire and the dead burning planet, Earth, once filled with joy, laughter, and dreams. Oh, why? Why? Why could I? Why did I do something so horrible? Sad Sun spoke to himself sadly. This would make him feel sad for a very long time. The end.